Hello and welcome. The one person watching this.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to Show Us Some TDs. Show us your TDs. Show us TDs.
Show them to us.
Show it. Just show it. Big week 14 coming up. Thursday has now extended my record in the NFL to 9-1 in my last 10 picks.
The run.
It's quite the run.
Will
it last? That is the question.
We're going to say yes. We're going to say yes. It's going to carry on.
Yep. Yes, it is. Yeah, well, it's Saturday. There's no college football, so now is the time and when things start to get very depressing. We got bowl games started in a week or two.
Yeah, they start on Friday.
Who plays? Oh, well, hey, we got Army Navy today.
Yeah.
Which I hate all service academy games.
I know.
Will I watch it? Yes, 100%. It will be on my TV. So bonus coverage. Army Navy. Who are you taking?
Honestly, I'm taking Navy for just the simple fact that Bill Belichick wore a Navy face cover on Monday. That would be the only reason.
I'm going to take. Maybe I should just take Army to be opposite, but I wanted to take Navy after seeing their unis get posted today. They look pretty sweet.
But I can only imagine that they're going to be awesome. The unis in this game are usually pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean it's a big the lead up to the Army Navy game, like the hour pregame, is usually a lot more entertaining and more eventful than the game itself.
Yes,
typically. Navy getting 7.5. Oh yeah, you got to go Navy.
Yeah. And this is the last game of the season. I mean, Army's in a bowl game against Missouri, I think, and we'll talk about that in future shows. But I think this is it for Navy. I mean, this is their season. This is the last game. This is how they go out. So that's why I think they're going to be a little bit more fired up today.
Yeah, over under sit at 35.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the under is what? All time? I think I saw a tweet this week. It's like 49-1 towards the under. And it's hit
49-1?
40 wins, 9 losses, and 1. So it's been over 9 times in the history of this game.
Jesus. Wonder what it would be if it was like Navy, Wisconsin. Still probably be 35.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wouldn't be much more than that.
Yeah. That's epically awesome. Well, let's move on then. To the big show tomorrow, Saturday, December 12th, as the playoff picture starts to take shape. A lot of these kids, no Gardner Minshew this week, so I'm not near as excited as I was last week. But
no, I saw NFL memes or something posted today that Gardner Minshew is what Baker Mayfield pretends to be, and I actually laughed, and I was like, that's kind of factual too.
After the Vikings win on Thursday, which not that had a whole lot of playoff implications, but Cardinals currently sit in the 1 seed. Green Bay 9-3, right behind them. Tampa's the 3 seed. Dallas Cowboys are the 4 seed as the NFC winners right now. 5 seed Los Angeles Rams. They're pretty much in. They'll get that wild card. Washington football team 6-6. They are the 6 seed. And then Niners sitting at 6-6. They are the 7 seed. Who doesn't make it out of that? What I just read.
The Niners probably have the toughest stretch with the Cardinals and Rams jockeying for playoff position. I haven't looked at who else they have on their schedule, but I mean, if I had to guess one to get out, but then again, they own the head-to-head with Minnesota, so it's going to be a very interesting finish there to see who gets the final 2 spots in the NFC. Because, like you said, I think LA is in as well comfortably.
Yeah, San Francisco's got Cincinnati today. Who knows what Cincinnati will show up? When I said I was 10-1 now, 9-1 in my last 10 games. Sides here. The Cincinnati Bengals would be that one loss. because they couldn't cover 2.5. That was at home too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, at home. And just, I've never seen before a team down like 24-3, 24-6 at halftime. They end the third quarter down 24-22. And then 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, they were down by 16.
Yep. It was one of the wildest games I think I've ever seen. As far as like, you hear a game of runs, that would be a game of runs right there.
Just when you thought, you were looking good at the 2.5 or money line, anything you bet on the Bengals, man, that ended quickly in the fourth quarter. What a letdown the Cincinnati Bengals are. Going to the AFC playoff picture, which is a much more interesting one, I think, because everyone seems like they're 7-5 or 6-6 in that division or that conference. Patriots going on a hell of a run. They're now the 1 seed at 9-4. The Titans holding on to the 2 spot at 8-4. Ravens 8-4. They are the 3 seed. Kansas City Chiefs somehow are 8-4. I don't get it, but their defense has been playing better, I guess. The Chargers, after their decimation for 3.5 quarters against the Cincinnati Bengals, 7-5. They're the 5 seed. Speaking of the Bengals, they are the 6 seed at 7-5. And the Buffalo Bills, not what we thought going into the season. They'd be sitting here on the cusp of missing the playoffs, possibly, even though they are 7-5.
Yeah.
Out of that, who doesn't make it?
I would probably lean Cincinnati just because you mentioned the inconsistencies and ability to win the games that they have to win to take control of it. I mean, even looking behind them, do you think the Colts are going to end up missing out? I would say the Colts jump in when Cincinnati shifts out. But then again, we see teams like Miami surging. I know they've beaten a bunch of bad teams. Cleveland's still in the thick of it. There's just so many teams still right there in the cusp of it where I think Cincinnati's inconsistencies might come back to bite them. But then again, they got all the talent on offense to turn it on and capitalize. So that AFC playoff picture, there's going to be a good football team on the outside looking in. And crazy enough, with Buffalo having Tampa on Sunday, could very well be Buffalo.
Yeah, all the teams kind of in the hunt. You look at the Colts. To me, I think they'll still win the division. If I had to guess, that I don't think there's any reason they couldn't catch Tennessee, because Tennessee is with what are they going to be going forward without Derrick Henry? And he's done for the year, correct?
Correct.
Or is there a chance he's coming back?
No, I think he's completely done. The only thing I think that would hold Indianapolis back from winning the division is they lost both games against Tennessee already this season.
Right. But you can't tell me they won't win 2 in Tennessee. Well, I guess Tennessee's got Jacksonville today, but yeah, that'll be a fun finish to see what happens. I'm rooting for Tennessee to win, actually, just because I have like a 8-leg futures parlay with division winners, and I had Tennessee to win that one. So
yeah, I think we each got for doing the AFC North, and I feel like that one's winding down on hope.
Yeah. Week to week, this has been one of the more interesting seasons. It's been a bad season, I feel like, but more interesting because who knows what team shows up on any given Sunday. But all right, let's move into it. 1:00 games. What's your you have a must bet in this one?
Yes. I am taking the must bet as the Washington football team getting 4.5 points at home. This team somehow finds ways to win games. It is never pretty. It is never glamorous. But the last month or so, they have just found ways to win games. And with it being at home and Dallas hasn't been overly impressive, I don't know if they'll win outright, but I can feel them keeping it close. And even if it's a 28-24 game, they cover.
Yeah, I'm Washington all day. This is my Eagles this week, where if there's one game I can bet and am going to play, it's going to this one. Washington won 4 in a row, covered 4 in a row. Close games, bad games. Oh, man, the defense is finally showing up to playing up to the level I think we all anticipated it was going to be. Yeah, Washington's my number one play of the whole day, I think.
And it's going to be scary the entire time, but I feel like with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they'll figure out something to cover and make it a 3 or 4 point ball game, and that's how it's going to end.
Yeah, you got a team who's won 4 in a row, covered 4 times around there. I'm getting 4.5 at home. Yeah. Especially against Dallas. Dallas's 8-4 record does not really show what that team is.
And we've seen enough Mike McCarthy coached games where he just loves to play conservative and let teams come back, even if he does have a lead.
Yeah. Their impressive win, I guess, would be New England. But other than that, you look at 3-1 the last 3 weeks with a win. Yeah,
they gave up some big plays to New Orleans that had literally nobody on their offense. Look at who they had in their lineup. With Taysom, I probably can't even tell you their top 3 wideouts. Ingram was at running back. Right?
Yeah. And then they were decimated by the Broncos.
Yeah.
Who hadn't won a game at the time since like week 3, I think. All right. Anything else? Early slate games. There's still a lot.
I like over 49 in San Fran and Cincinnati. Weather pending. I think Cincinnati has gone over in the last 5 games, and with their ability to give up points as well. And both teams are playing for their playoff lives, like we mentioned earlier. I feel like the offenses are going to come ready to go. San Fran's going to run that football. I think some points are going to fly in Cincinnati this weekend.
Well, that's a 4:00 game. We're on the noon games, dude.
Is it?
Get with the program.
Oh, my app just threw that one in the middle of it. Sorry. Back to the top.
Jeez.
Chiefs and Raiders. I like the Raiders catching 10. For whatever reason, they like to hang in Kansas City, but like you mentioned, their defense is coming into form. Going to think about this one a little bit. I know it's not going to be talked about because Gruden's not there anymore, but Raiders won 40-32 there last season and did the extra lap around Arrowhead in the bus. So I don't know if that's going to be a motivating factor, but we've talked about we talked about divisional games, teams catching points. 10 is a lot of points in a divisional game. The Raiders are still a 6-6 football team. I'm still very confident the Chiefs will most likely win this game, but I feel like the Raiders can hang a little bit with them.
Well, just a couple weeks ago, these two teams played each other, and the spread was 3.
And the Raiders were favored.
Yeah.
Or no, they were 2.5-point dogs at home. Sorry. And I feel like that's going to be.
They won that game 41-14.
And that's where I think the motivation comes in too.
Yeah, 10's a lot.
But I think and another reason I like this is I think last week everybody that had 10 or point more favorite, they all covered.
Yep, because I bet them all. Colts and Bucks, man, and the Rams. Yeah, I was leaning towards Vegas here. I don't like the Chiefs, but just knowing that they beat the dog shit out of them just like 3 weeks ago concerns me. So I will probably stay away. I feel like that game is going to be high scoring. I might lean towards over 48 if I took anything.
I was going to say the last couple of years it has been high scoring there. But the Chiefs defense coming into form. I mean, Raiders offense is just sometimes they look abysmal. You saw what they did against Dallas, and then they bounce back the next week and don't even look functional at all. So if you're taking the over, we got to hope Derek Carr and company show up to put up some points.
Yeah. I'll probably stay away. Jacksonville and Tennessee, the 2 seed in the AFC.
A lot of turmoil, it seems like, going on down there in Jacksonville. I keep seeing reports, players and assistants arguing with Urban. They haven't won a road game since 2019, so it's been a good 2 years since they won a road game. I mean, I probably will sit it out, but if anything, I like Tennessee to cover 8 and probably go under 43.5. I just don't see how Jacksonville's offense is going to step up and do anything at all.
Yeah. Road game since 2019. Wow. What a shit franchise.
Yeah.
This is they have lost 10 games in 9 of the last 10 years.
Abysmal.
And then one random trip to the AFC title game.
Yeah.
What a fucking the Jaguars. Classic. Titans, it looked like they were gonna might be okay after they lost Henry and they beat the Saints and they lost the Texans. That's pretty embarrassing. And then no shame in losing to the Patriots. Everyone seems to be doing that nowadays. AJ Brown, possible? No.
Yeah, it's just so banged up on offense. But at the same time, I think Jacksonville's just got too much turmoil to want to put this thing together. I mean, even after their last game, James Robinson's calling out Urban as to why he's not on the field. I think it was like 17 of the last 20 snaps they had on offense, James Robinson wasn't even in the game.
Yeah. And Tennessee's got he just got 2 names. Ingravich.
Yeah.
That receiver's name. Yeah, they still got old Ryan Tannehill. He throws together good performances every now and then. So if you'd put a gun to my head, I guess I'd take Tennessee because it's hard to envision a world where Jacksonville wins games, let alone covers. Big showdown in the AFC. Ravens and Browns. This will be a disgusting game to watch. Like, it will make you sick to your stomach. I
was just going to say, AFC North in the month of December, under 42.5 is what I would play there because it's probably going to be a guessing game as to which side you want to lean. If you think the Browns are going to win, take 3. If you think the Ravens are going to win, take 3. It's just it's a guessing game on which team you think is going to win there. It'll be a 16-10 type game. It's just you don't know who's going to come out on top. I got to take a look deeper at Baltimore's injury report. I know Marlon Humphrey is out for quite some time, it looked like.
Yeah. He's on IR. I'm looking at PFF's injury report right now, but I've also come to realize it's never right. I don't know why Pro Football Focus can't get their injury reports right. Yeah, I'd take Baltimore, actually.
Yeah, and they've been in a slump. You got to think that Lamar is going to shake it off a little bit and come back, but I don't know. I just think I think the safer play is under 42.5 is where it's at right now.
Well, they just played like 2 weeks ago, right? It was like 13-10.
Yeah.
16-10.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was 13-10, and then it was 6. Yeah, it was 16-10, and then they had that ugly game against the Steelers where it was 20-19 last week.
Yeah.
See North unders.
Yeah, give me the Ravens. In a shooty game like this, I'll just take the team that's getting the points.
Divisional game. Team get take them.
Yeah, I feel like that might be my strategy in shitty games. Does anybody want to talk about New Orleans and the Jets?
I, for the life of me, can't understand how the Saints are favored by 5 in any capacity right now. But Kamara's back.
Yeah,
so I think that's the ultimate factor there. That's just a stay away for me.
I think I've watched one Saints game this whole year, and it was week 1.
Yeah, I watched that, and I watched the Bucks game. That would be the only 2 I think I've really sat down and watched.
Yeah, fuck the Saints. Atlanta, Carolina.
Another one where it's just like, oof. Do we have to? Kind of situation. I mean, the Falcons can put up some points, I guess, when they want to or need to. It's going to be outdoors, but still going to be in Charlotte, which is going to have cooperative weather, it looks like. I just probably won't play anything in this game. It's a meaningless game in the grand scheme of things. It's just a divisional game for teams to get a win. It's probably going to tell us a lot about who's still fighting towards the end of the season.
Yeah, the whole Cam Newton's back in Carolina thing lasted a whole quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Like this team is still just as bad as it was with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Cam Newton didn't change much. We made a big deal about it because they gave him the ball twice in the 1 yard line and he scored. Well,
yeah, I mean, he's a massive human being. Of course, he's going to score.
It's like a fullback who plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under. I don't know. What's 41? Yeah, it feels like 10 points will be scored in that game total. So what a shit. I guess I didn't realize it until we talked about it. Like this early slate is so brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know who I actually want to watch here.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, probably just the Washington football team is all I like in the morning.
Yeah. A lot of just shitty divisional matchups. Speaking of shitty matchups, how about the Seahawks and the Houston Texans?
Well, we mentioned that the Army-Navy game has a total of 35.5, and this game has a total of 40.5. So this game is 5 points better than the college game we're going to watch with the academies today. The Seahawks defense has played pretty good this season. I will say that. Davis Mills starting for the Texans leads me to believe that if I had to play, I would say the Seahawks cover and the game goes under. I'm not confident Houston's going to be able to put up many points in this game.
What I don't like is the 8.5. It just seems like a lot of points for a really shitty Seahawks team to cover. They should, though. They should.
I mean, do we think that they came to life because they put up 34 points last weekend, or are they going to shift back to that team that consistently puts up under 17 points?
Yeah. I would say the only indicator that makes me confident is that win over the Jaguars, who the Jaguars are kind of the same team as the Texans. Houston has been officially eliminated from playoff contention, which is hilarious. The Lions are still in it.
Yeah.
Houston's not. Yeah, that franchise also just in disarray. Seahawks cover for sure. I mean, early on in the season, it paid to bet Tyrod, but I feel like those days are long gone.
Yeah, especially with him not even playing. Davis Mills has been announced as a starter for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So Tyrod gets the chaff again for no apparent reason.
Good for he was awful last week.
Yeah, true, he was
awful. I think he got hurt too, didn't he?
I think he's been banged up all season. Got to feel for that guy a little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember if they pulled him or if he actually just got hurt. It could have been either or because he looked awful. So let's move on then to our 4:05 games. 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. A little bit better matchups. Hopefully some better football's played. Possibly. I don't know. They're one game with two decent teams. Favorite bet of this one is going to be I know. How in the world are you going to give the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell 10.5 points? Because I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, usually you say, they won a game, they're let down. Like, I don't know, Dan Campbell's a hype man. I feel like the Lions are going to be even more hyped up than they've been all season.
I mean, that was their Super Bowl last week, but this team's on a roll.
Yeah, in Denver last week just did not look good at all. I mean, Teddy pick six again. We remember the Eagles decimating the Broncos at Mile High. I don't know if the Lions win again, but I got it at 11 over here at Circa, and I will probably take them plus 11 because we talked. I mean, you've been on a roll with afternoon games, like just absolutely killing that 4 o'clock Central slate. 4 Eastern slate. Sorry, but yeah, you talk about dogs there. I'd ride with you there on Detroit plus 10.5 or 11.
Oh yeah. Dan Campbell, I feel like Dan Campbell he'll stick around in Detroit for about 4 years. He'll make the playoffs one time, and every other year will be like 3-14. Yeah.
Yeah. 3-13-1. He won't. He'll tie. He'll have a tie
every year. But there will be one year where it's like they're kind of good.
And it'll be that year where they're functional, and it'll be where everybody's in like a reset year, or they're down, or somebody has an injury where they can sneak in.
Aaron Rodgers leaves the NFC North.
Yeah.
And they beat the Packers one time. The Vikings are the Vikings. So, they beat them this year. So,
yeah.
And then the Bears always suck. So then the Lions win the division randomly. Wouldn't that be something? Yep. So fighting Dan Campbell's plus 11 or 10.5, wherever you got it. Do you trust the Bengals again?
I don't know if I trust. I mean, it's a 1.5 point spread. So it just comes down to, again, which team do you think is going to win? I don't see a 1 point game, but I see a lot of points. Cincinnati's gone over 5 in a row, I believe, when I was looking at this. San Fran's offense has been able to put up some numbers. I just don't see anything slowing down either offense if the weather is functional or cooperative. So I'll double check on that Sunday morning before any bets are placed. But with the points that have been flying with the last month with the Bengals and them giving up a lot of points too, that's where I like over 49 in this spot.
Yeah, 5 of the last 6 games have gone over for the Bengals. And the one time it didn't, it was set at 50 against the Raiders.
Oh, that game was ugly too.
Yeah.
And that was 32-14, and it was tight in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But, I think I take the Bengals here. I might try again. Because I can only take one favorite in the afternoon slate. So, yep. So that, an underdog is an underdog, whether it's 1.5 or 10. I'm looking at a weather report that says 46 and clear. But this is also the one that told me last time in Cincinnati it was going to rain.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'll lean Bengals. Probably. I haven't figured out how I'm going to play that afternoon slate yet. It feels so long away, and I've got a lot of terrible football watched in between now and then.
Yes, we do.
Starting in a little bit here. The main event, I would say, of the afternoon slate, obviously Buffalo, Tampa. I'm sure that'll be it's Fox's America's game of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Tampa minus 3.5. 53.5 the over-under.
All the way up to 54 out here. 54. Wow. So a full point more. Probably going to stay away from the total. I just, at this point, I know we're not the biggest fan of him, but it's December. Tom Brady, he's going to have his team in form with Belichick beating this team on Monday night. I don't see why Brady's not going to have some extra motivation to just go out there and slap this team.
Yeah. Yeah, I might take the Bills.
I mean, I'll sit on it just to think about it a little bit more. I mean, 3.5. I mean,
where's the money at?
Leaning towards maybe you want to take the Bills in a tight game. I just think a lot of people think points are going to fly too, and I think this is one where Tampa's run defense can stop their run, and Brady can hand the ball off to playoff Lenny and let him grind on him a little bit.
Tampa Bay having 64% of the tickets, only 45% of the cash.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably juiced money line parlays would be my guess on that big account.
Yeah, I'd like to see where the late money goes. See what happens during the noon games. See where that line moves at all. If the money keeps coming in on Buffalo, but Buffalo's got to figure it out eventually, right?
You'd think so. Sean McDermott's comments Monday night after the game were kind of funny to me,
Yeah.
where he was bagging on Bill Belichick a little bit. It's like, bro, why would you be doing that, especially after he just completely outcoached you?
Like, he legitimately went into the game with zero intention of ever putting the ball in the air. Mm-hmm. Zero. The only time he ran it in the first 3.5 or threw the ball in the first 3.5 quarters was because Mac checked out of whatever you had called to a pass. And then he almost overthrew the guy in 45-mile-an-hour winds, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah, like, I don't know how. Like, Bill Belichick lined up with his football team and just said, we're going to run it every single play. And you couldn't figure out how to stop that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they ran 5 run plays the entire game. Like, it was the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it worked. He's like, cool, you're going to give me 3.5, 4? I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the Manning cast, so I didn't even know who was running the ball. But
didn't matter.
Yeah, they all looked the same. They all looked like one person. Could have been like 4 different running backs. Yeah, I don't know. Bounce back, short week.
But against the Bucks, I mean,
it's tough.
It's a tough team to have a bounce back game against.
Yeah. Well, there's one more game to talk about, and that'll decide who I take in that one. Giants, Chargers.
Well, the Chargers you really can't trust, but then again, you can't trust the Giants at all. But they're starting old Jake Fromm at quarterback this weekend, I saw. So they're not really going to let it fly much. It's going to be a short passing game for them. I mean, you can run the football on the Chargers. I just don't think New York can run the football. If I was going to take the favorite in the afternoon slate to play, it would probably be the Chargers, -9.
Yeah, Galladay's out. Tooney's out. Like, what do the Giants have? I don't know who else is on that team.
Yeah, it's going to be Jake Fromm and Devontae Booker to Kyle Rudolph.
Well, they got Slayton, right? I know him.
But it's,
I don't know. Maybe this is the game Saquon Barkley finally does something. He's had what a letdown he is. If you drafted him in fantasy football, I'm sorry.
Yeah, fantasy football has been wild this season too.
Yeah. I don't want to take the Bills, so I guess I have to take the Giants. I'm just trying to envision a way the Giants can stay within 10 points. And doesn't look good.
Or maybe it's a back door, maybe the back door will be open.
I mean, the Giants have kept some close games. And the Chargers are known for letdowns. I mean,
especially after a big win on the road last week.
Big win on the road where they decimated the Bengals. Then they lost to the Broncos, and then they scored 1,000 points against the Steelers. And then they lost to the Vikings, who just lost to the Lions.
Yeah.
Then they played the Patriots close, and then got decimated by they got dog walked by the Ravens.
Yep.
Then they beat the Browns. That is a weird, like, looking at their schedule and looking at the results, it makes about 0 sense.
Yeah, you can't get they're so inconsistent. Like, if anything, you can bet on them being inconsistent. So maybe the Giants +9 is the play because they were so hot last week. That means they got to get low this week to balance it out.
Since week 8, they've gone loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. That means loss is imminent in this one. So there you have it. That's the sharp angle this week.
Follow the trends.
Is Chargers after a win take them? So I guess I'm going Giants money line now.
Beef that up. What's that at? Plus 374. Why not?
Sure. All right, so there we have it. There's your afternoon play. Tampa, the favorite, they cover the 3.5, and the rest are underdogs. All covered. And then finally, well, one good football team playing another really shitty football team.
Yes.
This time in Lambeau Field. The Chicago Bears head up to Wisconsin to take on their owner, Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers.
So this one is a fun thought process. Last couple of seasons, we've seen the Packers come off the bye and just get absolutely decimated by the Bucs last season and the Niners before that. However, the Chicago Bears team is nowhere near the class of those two football teams. I think the motivation of Aaron Rodgers owning them is not really going to do much in this game. When I saw Justin Fields was announced and Bears fans were psyched for that, I just kind of had to chuckle to myself.
And then a couple hours later, like Jari's back.
Yeah, it's just there's so many things going in the right direction for Green Bay. They're kind of banged up. Get that bye week to get healthy. Kind of a late bye, which is probably beneficial when we're looking hindsight here. I would probably take the Packers minus 12.5. However, I have been finding some hidden gems. First quarter favorites covering were plus 105 in the Sunday night game with the Chiefs and Thursday night with the Vikings. So I hit both of those. So I'll probably keep a pulse on some of the props in this game and look for some plus money plays that I will obviously share out. But if I'm playing the game, I'm taking the Packers minus 12.5. I just think they just go out there and they just wipe the floor with them.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine a world. I mean, this spread is pretty big, though, and this is a division game. I can't imagine a world where the Packers lose this game, but I can see them sticking around, oddly. I mean, if this would have been a 12.5 point spread in Chicago, the Bears would have covered. That's what worries me.
And the Packers are so good against the spread this season. Forgive me if I'm incorrect on this, but I think the only game where they have not covered was week 1 against the Saints.
The Vikings as well.
That's right. The two losses. Or the losses.
Yeah.
Because against the Chiefs, they even covered.
Yeah, with Jordan Love. Go figure. I might stick to props.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up betting the Packers just because that's what I do. Because why would you not? Get a 10-2 team against the spread and then a 4-8 team against the spread. And also, too, double-digit favorites.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. The only thing I'm going to take prop-wise is going to be Darnell Mooney over 42.5.
Because he'll have a 44-yard catch.
Yes, he'll have one 44-yard catch. Of course, he'll have Jari on him this time, though. He might not get the ball a whole lot. Ew.
You don't think we're going to throw him on Allen Robinson?
Is A-Rob back?
Yeah, I thought I saw something where he is, but
if he is, then Darnell Mooney over 100.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. They'll never throw 100 yards in the game. Darnell Mooney over 70. Let's see what the injury report says. That's never right on PFF. I don't see A-Rob on here. But it also still has Jari on here. So who knows? Regardless, 44.5, he'll hit that. He should. Packers minus the 12.5, and I think Rodgers' passing prop is like 260. And in Lambeau against the Bears, I feel like I don't think he hit that the last time they played. I don't even think he had 200 yards the last time they played. But I do believe he'll get there this time. It'll be one of those games where he throws like 3 or 290, but he has like 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Which I think his touchdown prop is 2.5 right now. I would actually lean towards that under. Justin Fields' pass prop is like 190 for yards. I will take that under all day.
Yep. Yeah. Allen Robinson expects to play versus the Packers. It was really 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah. Darn, I'm money over then for sure. Justin Fields might only have about 80 yards.
Yep.
And he doesn't – even when Allen Robinson plays, they don't throw him the ball, so he's kind of just a non-factor anyway. All right. And then the main – I said there's been like 3 main events so far this weekend. That's because there's only like 3 good games. The main event of Monday, Rams, Cardinals.
Do you even have to guess which way I'm leaning here? Do we even have to figure this out? No, I'm obviously taking the Rams outright. I think the embarrassing loss at home is going to drive them a little bit more. Odell seemed a little bit more comfortable last week. Obviously, it was against the Jags, so that's something different. But the Cardinals are a completely different football team on the road than they are at home. They're a little bit better on the road than they are in Arizona. So I like the divisional game. I like the Rams in the upset here. I will most likely take them money line and find me some good, juicy props to play.
Yeah, Cardinals undefeated on the road.
Yep.
Wow. You don't see that much. Yeah, big playoff implications here, too, for Green Bay. So both these primetime games are key games for the NFC playoff picture. I'm rooting, of course, for the Rams because Packers need that 1 seed.
Yep.
I think that is – I know it's the Jaguars, but the fact that McVay never took his foot off the gas, really, even with his backups in there.
Yep.
Like, they looked – I mean, they dominated that game from start to finish.
Yep.
I think that's an encouraging win for that team. And now what is a gotta-have-it game for them. So
yep.
I like them coming off that win in this game, too. We're both probably wrong. Cardinals probably win, but yep. Well, I will still take my chances with Sean McVay.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where until the Cards do it, it's going to always kind of be the question mark, but this could be the season they do. But until then, I just think the way the Rams got embarrassed by them earlier this season, I think McVay is going to have them absolutely ready to go in there and get a dub.
And at this rate, too, if you're the Cardinals, you probably don't want the 1 seed anymore. Then you got to play at home the whole time.
Right.
You're not as good at home.
Let's give away this game. And the Rams win this game. They're probably a game and a half out of the division lead after that Niners loss. So still a lot to play for in the NFC West as far as who's winning and who's sliding in that 5 spot.
Rams not the greatest covering team, but I do believe their spreads most of the time are the favorite. No, you got them as the dog. So sure. Yeah.
And I think Goff went in there and won like 34-24 last season and just threw the ball all over him. So I can't imagine Jared Goff going in there and throwing the ball all over him and then Stafford not being able to throw the ball all over him.
Yeah, Jared Goff. That dude. Did you see the post on Twitter about his girlfriend?
Oh yeah,
he's like a swimsuit model.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that like every Sunday, Jared Goff's existence is probably just miserable as hell because he just goes out there and gets exposed as the fraud he is. But it's like also,
but then you get to go home to her.
Yeah, respect. Dude.
Yeah, respect. Yeah. You come down here to like easily, middle of the pack there once we see that.
I have much more respect for you as a person. I still don't as a football player, but as a person, good for you. All right, well, that wraps that up. Anything we didn't cover, want to talk about?
No, I think the fun news of the week is your boy, Pat McAfee, getting paid and giving back. I think that's pretty awesome for somebody just to walk away from the NFL. I mean, obviously us meeting each other in the wrestling world, he's on SmackDown every week. I think that's a pretty cool gig for him, getting paid like that by, from FanDuel for a bunch of dudes that just like talking about sports. I think that's pretty awesome for a boy to get paid like that.
Yeah, big payday for them. And then imagine that high school, Plum High School now.
Yeah.
They better have the sickest uniforms in the world.
They have like alternate smoke unis and all these awesome ones. I know we didn't talk about college much, and we'll get into the bowls, but I did chime in on the unnecessary roughness Twitter page for the hot takes for the 2022 season, where I said the winner of USC and Notre Dame would be in the college playoff next season, and that winner would be USC. And then they immediately said, "Here comes the USC like hype train or something like that." And then I said that Miami would go. Only loss would be to Texas A&M, and they'd win the Orange Bowl. So carrying suit from what we've talked about all season with my USC and Miami bias.
Hell yeah. Yeah, bowl games Friday, the Bahamas Bowl. That's one you want to get to.
Yeah, I mean, you have a mediocre 6-6 season. That's a reward there,
especially the guys coming from like Middle Tennessee and Toledo.
Yeah, I mean what a way to end your season.
Like the game is so irrelevant, but Bahamas? Are you shitting me? Hell yeah! The Cure Bowl. Oh yeah, Friday.
Yep.
The Huskies taking on Coastal Carolina. I wonder what that spread will be. Is that out?
It's a 10-point spread for Coastal Carolina right now. I'm loving you're fighting Rocky Lombardi's +10.
Dude. Give it to me.
So, yeah, shout out to my boss, who I know will never watch this show, but I was going to be offsite for meetings Wednesday through Friday nights, but he was like, no, let's just do one day. So I'm flying back late Thursday night, so I'll be back Friday to gamble on those games and watch those games.
Here's a question. What is the Celebration Bowl?
I don't know. There's so many, like the Jimmy Kimmel LA presented by Stifle Bowl next Saturday. Like this.
It's the champions of the Mid-East Athletic Conference and the Southwest Athletic Conference. Oh, it's like the bowl game for HBCUs. That explains why it's Jackson State in there. That's why. That's where Dion coaches, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's Jackson State.
Yeah.
I remember confusing it for Jacksonville State when they beat Florida State earlier this season.
How shitty would it be to be the New Mexico Bowl?
Yeah.
It's Fresno State and UTEP. Like you're already in like shitty places. Well, Fresno, yeah.
Isn't that bad, but it's not the best.
Like El Paso, and then like you watch like Middle Tennessee go to the Bahamas, and then you just gotta go to
you go to New Mexico. Kind of like on Wayne's World, where they're like, "Hey, when we're in Delaware," and they're like, "Yeah, Delaware." It's kind of like what the New Mexico Bowl's like.
And then the LA Bowl, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's got those Utah State Aggies who've treated me well all season against Oregon State, who, I mean, I'm going to take Utah State on the money line in that one. They're 7-point dogs.
Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifle.
What a great name.
What?
You talk about it too. Like you look at some of these USC or these Pac-12 teams. I mean, you end your season playing at SoFi Stadium as a 7-5 team.
Cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's better than where Oregon and Oklahoma are playing the Valero Alamo Bowl. So LA at SoFi or the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio. Give me SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, better than having to go to like Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Oh, the inaugural game of the LA Bowl. How long? That'll be around a long time, I bet. Caesars Superdome. Louisiana Marshall. They get to play in the Superdome. That's cool. How long has it been Caesars Superdome?
I think it was this season they took it
Was
over.
it?
In like August, I saw that. I'm excited. Probably not going to bet on it, but Wisconsin, Arizona State, in the Las Vegas Bowl on December 30th. I will probably be attending that one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if the Badgers get a chance to get out here, might as well go walk.
The Myrtle Beach Bowl. There's another good one.
An interesting one is the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I know we made some jokes towards that Lincoln Riley fan, or the Lincoln Riley hater, I should say.
Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, that's where Oklahoma's going to be next season. But probably be a good game. North Carolina versus South Carolina. I mean, it's kind of got a rivalry feel to it. It's in Charlotte. I feel like it's going to be one of the bigger games and funner games to watch.
Which one was that?
The Duke's Mayo Bowl. It's on December 30th.
The Mayo Bowl. Oh, the Cheez-It Bowl.
That's an interesting matchup, too.
North Carolina. Oh, that's cool. North Carolina versus South Carolina. That's how it should always end. I just like seeing these bowls because some of them are just so like why.
Yeah, and I'll do some.
The Pinstripe Bowl. That's a good one. I get to go play in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
a football game. That'd be pretty cool. Or in Fenway. Ooh, SMU versus Virginia. I love it.
You know, you look at some of these, like those, you just mentioned those two teams, both just lost their head coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like betting on some of these games, it's just like, oof, you're really going to have to dive deep into the bushes. Like, even looking at the San Diego Bowl, NC State's favored by a point over UCLA. I think we've watched both those teams enough this season to think that NC State's just going to beat the shit out of UCLA. I mean, probably a little bit biased in that thought process, but what makes you think that UCLA is better in any capacity than NC State from what we've seen on the field this season?
Yeah. What does Ohio State just decimate Utah or no?
You know, so the quick thought there and going into it is this is a big game for Utah. We've seen them, you know, BCS busters get into these big bowl games, but they're letdown spots for teams. Like they'll play Alabama when they don't get to the BCS championship, you know, back when, or Pitt, you know, it's a letdown game in that Fiesta Bowl. I don't think the Rose Bowl is ever a letdown game for a Big Ten team. And if you don't think Ohio State's going to come in packing punches after losing to Michigan was the last time we saw them. Yeah, and the Pac-12 was so down this season. So down. Utah, fantastic football team, but, I mean, we kind of saw it with Alabama and Georgia. I don't think Utah has seen athletes like Ohio State's wideouts this season, and I feel like that game might kind of be like the SEC championship game we just saw. I don't think Cameron Rising's going to be able to compete with points against C.J. Stroud and company.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't want to get too much because we're going to have to talk about them all eventually anyway. But I do think, obviously, the biggest winners of bowl season are Middle Tennessee and Toledo.
And I absolutely agree. Stay through the weekend. Enjoy the sun.
You need to go on vacation.
Yeah.
For your bowl game.
Stay through New Year's.
Other teams got to go to Albuquerque.
Yeah. So we can figure out a schedule for next week. We got bowl games on Thursday and Friday, and then
Thursday.
Friday and Saturday. Need more coffee. But then the following week, I mean, we got bowl games Monday through Friday.
Yeah, a lot to talk about next week because it's bowl season, and that means every day we're going to be betting on some team we probably haven't watched a whole lot of football of. Quick, though, Middle Tennessee, Toledo, Bahamas Bowl.
10 10 points is a big spread. So let's give me Middle Tennessee State plus 10 and over 52. Let's get some points flying to start the bowl season early.
I'll ride it. Yeah, give me the 10-point dog. Why not? In the Bahamas Bowl, I mean, that team's probably going to play its best football.
Yeah.
You're in the Bahamas. Or maybe they'll just take it as a vacation and not really give a shit. Because that's probably what I would do.
Like, yeah, football's like the 8th thing I want to do right now.
A lot of distractions down there, I'm sure. It almost, yeah. Imagine being the coach in that point in time where you got to like try to prepare for a football game, but like you're also on vacation.
Yeah,
that'd be tough.
I mean, I would be in the zone because of me, but still, there would be plenty of distractions with sunshine, especially after sitting in the middle of Tennessee and Toledo.
Yeah, I would probably be very much like, who are we playing?
Yeah.
Like when the kickoff, like, where are these guys from? Oh, Toledo? Where the hell is that? So, all right, let's sign off on this one. Good luck to everyone. Picks will be out tomorrow for the game. Everybody enjoy, well, as best you can this footballless Saturday. Depressing times, I know. It's winter. Gets colder.
It was 29 degrees when I woke up this morning out here.
Oh, jeez. You ever get rich? What's D-Russ want to tell us? Well, no, pure logical analysis. You understand that. Yeah, no, you don't. Although you just think you do.
What is that in D-Russ picture? Who is that a picture of?
I can't make it bigger.
It's a nice looking mullet, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, let's keep this train rolling. We're hot. This show's hot right now. Let's hopefully we can let it go for another week before the eventual letdown that will be losing a lot of money. The rest of the Tim. Respect, D-Rest. Respect. That's a nice mullet you rocked in.
It is. That's a great glamour shot of a mullet with you.
1998. Solid.
Run that back for us. Run that back in 2022 for us.
Yeah. Well, D-Rest, thanks for popping in. Tom, and good luck, everybody. We will see you next week. Let's make some fucking money.
Go football.